extremely mature game from Luka Doncic here. This is the 10th time in his career he's scored over 30 points in the playoffs just against the Clippers.
The fact that they can win games multiple ways, they don't have to make a ton of threes on a given night. They don't have to outscore you. They can win a different way. This game was really run in the mud.
They played at their pace. Luca was able to dominate, the ball most of the game, creating opportunities for himself.
You guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump straight into the Dallas Mavericks at this point because this team just showed us in Game 2 against the Clippers why they have a chance to win this series, and they ultimately have the potential to win it all if they play up to their full ability. I mean, when talking about the offense, they looked like the old offense that we're used to seeing with Luca leading the charge like always, and on top of that, they also played really good on the defensive side of the ball, which is something that really did get hated on throughout the season. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If they can continue to play at the level that we just saw them play at and keep that same energy, this team, like I said earlier, really does have a chance to win it all. But before we get into why I believe that, I've got to be honest with you about something. Lately, I've been making a ton of money using this sleeper fantasy app that has allowed me to 20 times or even 25 or 30 times my money in just 1 or 2 days. All you got to do is go through and pick out a few players. I usually just pick the best players that I think are going to score the most points, and that's worked out pretty well for me. Not to mention, throughout the entire playoffs, Sleeper is literally giving away free wins with things like LeBron James over just half a point, which is, like I said, a free win and is honestly free money. So all you have to do is go down and either use the first link in the description to sign up, or just when you sign up, use my code LOGIC, and whatever you decide to deposit, it'll get doubled by Sleeper. So if you put in 50, you'll get 100 back for completely free. So like I said, either go down and use the link or just use my code LOGIC and you'll be able to double your money. Okay, so to get back on topic with the Dallas Mavericks, this team was coming into the playoffs extremely hot, going 16-4 in their last 20 games with all of their starters playing. I know they lost the 2 games before the playoffs, but like I said, the starters were not playing in those games, which is why I'm not counting them towards their record. They were 16-4 in their last 20, and I was extremely confident in what they were going to be able to accomplish, and I don't think anyone would disagree with me. They were clicking on all cylinders, and we were seeing Luca and Kyrie really play their best ball. And we all know if those 2 guys are on their game, this team is not going to be beat easily by anyone. Now, obviously, in Game 1 of the series, the Mavericks did not play their greatest basketball, and they ended up losing that game, even though the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, after that game happened, I was a little bit worried about this Dallas Mavericks team. They didn't look like themselves at all, but as the game went on, we did start to see them look a little bit better, and what that showed me was that they were just a little bit rusty from taking 2 games off at the end of the season. I think they all just had to get back used to playing and back in their grooves, because as time went on and with the more minutes each player got, they all started to look a little bit more comfortable and they started to look like the old Mavericks team. It was just a little bit too late in Game 1 to be able to pull it out. But in Game 2, man, the Mavericks came out and they played the type of basketball that we're used to seeing them play, and man, oh man, does it give me confidence in what this team can achieve. Like I said earlier, I was worried that this team wasn't going to be able to beat the Clippers, but even with Kawhi Leonard coming back for Game 2, it honestly didn't change anything, considering the Mavs found a way to win. The biggest reason for this, like always, was Luka Doncic coming out and absolutely dominating from start to finish, and especially finding a way to turn it on at the end of the game to help put it away. I mean, once again, he put up some pretty ridiculous numbers, scoring 32 points, while also having 9 assists and 6 rebounds, which is honestly something we're just getting used to at this point. I feel like it doesn't matter who the Mavericks are playing against or who tries to guard Luka, because regardless of who it is, he finds a way to get open and score points and get his teammates open, which is the biggest reason why the Mavericks have a chance to win it all this year. But while I know when you think of Luka, the main thing you think about is the offensive side of the ball, I would like to mention that he also played extremely good defense against the Clippers in Game 2, and that's something that I haven't seen enough people talk about. I feel like he constantly gets hated on for not playing defense or not being a defensive guy, but when we needed him to play defense, he found a way to do it, and he stepped up, and every time he was guarding somebody, he gave them trouble. If this continues, it makes this Mavericks team just that much better than they already were, because we know they're going to be able to put up points. The issue is whether they were going to be able to stop the other team, and with Luka playing defense like that, I think they'll be able to. Now, to go along with Luka, we also saw that guy Kyrie Irving turn it on and have himself a day, shooting 50% from the 3 and scoring 23 points, while also having 3 assists and 3 steals. This is another guy that's mainly known for what he can do on offense, but he played pretty good defense last night as well with those 3 steals that were a big reason why the Mavs ended up winning. I feel like him and Luka have really just found such a good chemistry together, and if it's not one of them, it's the other one making a play happen. And even though it's just 2 players, they are so good that it doesn't even matter. But I don't want to forget about everybody else, because there were also other guys on this team that helped out in a big way, and I think that starts with that guy PJ Washington. I knew the Mavs made a great decision by going out and trading for Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington at the trade deadline, and it showed its worth once again in Game 2 of the playoffs. I mean, this guy dropped 18 points, and if he wouldn't have made the threes that he made, the Mavericks would have lost this game, no question. He was absolutely cash from the 3-point line, even though he only shot 4 times, but that made a huge difference in this game, and I also think he played pretty good on defense as well. And then as far as everybody else goes, I know Daniel Gafford didn't have a huge impact, mainly due to him getting taken out earlier on in the game for an injury, but we all know what he's truly capable of, so the fact that he wasn't there for the majority of the game and the Mavericks still won shows me how good this team really is. So, I mean, man, I don't know exactly what to tell you. This team looked great last night. They played a lot better than they did in Game 1, and if they can continue to play like this, they not only are going to beat the Clippers in this series, but they're also going to have a chance to beat anybody that they have to play against. But, of course, that's just my opinion, so I'm still curious to know what you guys are thinking in the comments below. So let me know your thoughts about the Mavericks down there, and with that being said, I'll catch all of you guys in the next video.